All right, hey, Chipola Nation, we're here with Coach Donnie Tyndall of the Chipola Indians. How we doing, Coach?
I'm good, V. How are you?
All right, keeping the COVID away.
Trying my best.
Fantastic.
Knock on wood, right?
Is your team healthy as far as?
We are. We've had no issues with the COVID
Okay.
stuff. As you know, we've had a bunch of bumps and bruises all
Right.
fall, and we finally have started to get our team together the last couple of weeks. But yeah, knock on wood, keep
Okay,
that
man,
COVID stuff
no
away.
doubt. That's great. So, big game tonight in Tallahassee on January the 19th. And what do we need to do to take care of business tonight?
Well, play like we did the first time. But, I said after that game it was a pretty convincing win, Brian. And I said, we played about as well as we could play. And Tallahassee had been playing really well up until then. I think had won 9 or 10 in a row. And they didn't play like they had been. So
Right.
it was kind of a perfect storm for us. Ended up being about a 40-point ball game. But trust me when I tell you, the teams are much closer than that in talent and in what we bring to the table. So it's going to be a tough game. They have an inside presence. They have a big kid, number 15, who's a physical, hard-playing kid that's a Division I transfer. He's one of the best big players in the Panhandle Conference. They had a guard that did not play in our game, who's their floor general and really makes them go. So I think the complexion of tonight's game is going to be much different.
That's a big difference. And then Saturday, we have a chance to avenge our loss to Greg Heyer and the Northwest Florida State bunch.
Yeah, and they're good, as we've talked about all year. I think right now they're probably playing the best basketball of anyone in our conference. And I think that game over there was a lot like I just said the Tallahassee game was here. We played poorly in large part because of them.
Right, and everything fell for them.
That's right. They played great. So I don't think there's that big of a difference, just like I don't think there's that big of a difference between us and Tallahassee. Hopefully we play a little better Saturday, and hopefully they miss a shot. Just one. Just miss a shot.
Just miss a few, yeah. So right now, after the first round, Northwest is perfect, Gulf Coast 2-1, and we're right there at 2-2. So a couple of wins here, and we're right back, in the middle of this thing.
We are typical Panhandle Conference. Week to week things can fluctuate. It's so fluid in regard to who's on top and who's maybe in the state tournament if we ended today and who wouldn't be. But at the end of the day, every single conference game is just as important as the next. I mean, we all talk about Northwest Florida, et cetera. I get that. That's basketball rivalry, college basketball in particular. But every game is just as important as the next. So we've got to go take care of business tonight at Tallahassee, and then hopefully we can protect our home court on Saturday.
Yeah. Coach, I was interested. We had a non-conference game this weekend with Baton Rouge Community College, and we took care of them, but and it was a kind of a lopsided score, 100-55. Why was that important to have another game in the schedule, and what did that do for your team?
Well, I think the biggest thing, probably from a fan's perspective, you would ask why play that game at that point in time, but we want to play 30 games. You have 12 conference games, so you've got to go get 18 non-conference games, and when you had the year that we had a year ago, not a lot of people want to play, so it's hard to get games. So they were willing to play. They happened to have an open date when we did in conference play. So the timing of it just happened to work because we want to get those 18 non-conference games. And what it did too, Brian, with where our team sat in regard to guys being out 4 weeks here, 2 weeks here, 10 days here, it gave some guys that hadn't played a lot of minutes thus far in the last month anyway, some extended minutes. So it was good for our team. It really was.
And that's important because everyone is one ankle turn away from, next man up.
That's right.
And so you got to have everybody, even the guys who are maybe the third spot in a position, they got to be ready to play at all times.
Yeah, and I think you and I have talked about this many times here on the show is we have so much balance. Really, we've got our 2 or 3 main core players, and then after that, it can go week to week as to who's beating out who in practice, who's playing well in games, as you just mentioned, who's healthy.
Right.
So a game like that just gives a guy a chance to play through a couple mistakes that maybe I don't let him play through in conference games. You know?
Right. Did you happen to see the FSU Duke game last night?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. In fact, Big Duke texted me before the game, and so I made sure I was able to watch at least part of it. He had a couple really nice plays. That was a heck of a win. As you know, Coach Hamilton and I are buddies, and he does an outstanding job.
Now, Duke, tell us his full name.
Naheem McLeod. but
Okay,
everybody
everybody calls him Duke,
Yeah,
and he's like 7'1" or 7'2".
He's seven. They list him as 7'4". I think
Oh
he's
my-
at least 7'3".
Oh, my gracious.
And as you know, had a great year for us last year. Helped us get to the Final Four. And I just thought it was pretty cool that he texted me the day of that
Yeah.
Duke game. It was good to hear from him,
That's
and
great.
he played well.
Yeah, and FSU had a fantastic overtime win over there in the Tuck, which was just incredible.
Yeah.
But here we are back in the Milt, Saturday night, January 22nd. Couldn't be a bigger game, and we're just really excited. You've only had what, one misfire in the
At
in
home,
the Milt?
yeah. The only game we've lost at home in my 2
yeah.
years here was at Jones at the buzzer.
Exactly.
And I think this, I'd like to take just a second to say, obviously it's a huge game for us, and we want to have a great home crowd to pull for our team. But I also think, Brian, it's a chance for people to come out and pay a little bit of a tribute to Greg Heyer
Right.
and the tremendous success that he has here. I know how close Chipola is to his heart. We've talked about it. He's got a lot of friends here still, and people think a lot of Greg. So I think it'd be a neat opportunity for our fans to obviously support us first,
Exactly.
but to give Greg his due for the tremendous
Yes,
success
and
he had.
you know, Milt Johnson, the guy that the whole building's named for, there's a statue out front. I don't know that Milt Johnson ever had a 6 or 7 year stretch that was any better than Greg Hires. I mean, he really had a fantastic run here at Chipola.
He really did. I mean, when you look at the record books, you know, he is, at least percentage-wise, the winningest coach to ever coach here. He averaged almost 30 wins a season, which is unheard
just
of.
incredible.
So I'm tired of talking about Greg Heyer, though. I hope Greg's watching this. I'm tired of talking about
That's
him.
right. That's right. But no, we're glad to see Greg and Northwest Florida State come over, and we got to take care of business and get back on track here. And I know that we're going to do that. And as Coach Franklin was saying, you know, all these wins early in the season, those were just practice. But now is when it really starts to count, and we just want to get better and better as it goes.
Yeah, no question about it. And I think that's the goal of any coach. You know, everybody talks about the process, but it really, truly is getting better every day. And then if you get better individually, collectively, your team gets better, and hopefully the end result is a lot of wins. So.
Yeah.
We'll see. But if you want to come talk to, you sound like Nick Saban. You want to come talk to my team, come on.
Burn the boats, yeah. All right, Coach. Well, good luck in Tallahassee on the 19th, and good luck back here on the 22nd with Northwest Florida State.
Okay, thanks, B.